just drag Streamlabs OBS because we'll be using that up to the top. I'll drag the Twitch category up to the top, and then I'll go ahead and drag System up there as well. And I can hit done, and those are gonna stay up at the top of our list here to the right. Now, before we select any of these buttons, I'm gonna wanna make sure that Streamlabs is open. So we're gonna open that up. And this is our Path to Pro example. So we had an intro and an outro, and then we had a full screen webcam and then the full screen display capture set up. So that was our 4 scenes that we wanted to switch to. So I created a button for each one of those, and I'm gonna walk you guys through that. And then we also are gonna walk through how to mute and unmute your mic. And I'll show you some Twitch specific buttons as well as how to open up programs or websites and create buttons for that as well. But these are the ones I think that you guys could utilize right away at home on your streams. And this is how you can really produce your own live stream and keep it all in front of you on the Stream Deck, but also be able to keep your eyes on the chat, keep your eyes on the game, and produce a stream and level up your production. Now, as long as Streamlabs is open, we can then pull out a scene and attach it to one of our button spaces, and that's immediately going to be reflected on the Stream Deck itself, as well as here in the program. And we have some options with this scene. First, we can select the collection that this comes from in Streamlabs. I just have one collection that's scenes, and then we can select the scene that this controls. And so I'm gonna keep this on intro, and we're actually gonna create one button for each of our scenes. So I'm just gonna drag out 4 more slots here, since I have 4 scenes. And so now I have 4 of these. I'm gonna set this first one to the intro, which it already is. I'm gonna change the title and add intro. That's gonna add a little text piece to our physical button. And then I'm going to adjust the actual thumbnail of the button as well. And if you click this little drop down here, you can set from a file, or you can create a new icon. If you click create new icon, that's gonna open up the Elgato Key Creator, which is everything you'll ever need to be able to customize your keys. If we scroll down here on the Key Creator, you see that Elgato gives us a ton of default options for visual graphics for our buttons. If I want it to be the intro, I think I'm going to select something that's a little bit along the lines of like media that's playing. So for instance, I could click on this little video display button, and I can either clear that if I'm moving on to the next button, or I can save that. And there's lots of different other options, but for the most part, you can just click on one and then hit save, and that's gonna save it straight to your downloads. So then if we go back over to the Stream Deck, I'm gonna select the drop down here, set from file, find that option, hit open, and now that's gonna be set up for when we're on that scene. And when we're not on that scene, which is the second option here, it's gonna automatically dim that button. But if you wanna set up a different graphic, you can. You don't have to just select the dimming feature. So I'm gonna set the same button to the outro as well. Use this video icon, and then for the title, I'm gonna do outro, and we should set the scene to outro. I'm gonna select the next button here, and I'll set this one to be the full screen webcam, which I've already downloaded some of these Key Creator icons. And for the webcam, I think I'll select this one here that looks like a camera. And then for the full screen display capture, we'll select one that kind of looks like the Windows setup here. And what we need to make sure to do is select the scene on that button. Same thing for the display capture, select the scene for that. So now if we go back to Streamlabs, instead of clicking on each of our scenes, we can actually use these buttons to select the different scenes. So I can move to the full screen webcam here, I can move to the display capture, and then select the outro just like that by pressing the buttons. I don't even have to worry about what's going on in Streamlabs because we set everything up here on the Stream Deck. Now let's go ahead and remove this welcome button. All you have to do is click on it and hit the backspace or delete key. That's gonna delete that button out of there. I'm gonna add the mic in the upper right-hand corner. So this will be how to mute and unmute an audio source within Streamlabs. So if I select Mixer Audio and pull that out, I'm gonna go ahead and change the icon, and we'll set this from file. I downloaded one of the mic assets from the Key Creator. And so the on is gonna be the full mic, and then the off, instead of just being dimmed, I can set this to another file, which in this case is a muted mic icon. And that's gonna just be a better visual indicator of whether or not my mic is muted or unmuted. when I look at the Stream Deck. Next, I just need to select the source, and for this, I'm gonna select mic/AUX. If we go back to Streamlabs, we can see that the mic right now is on, but if we hit the button for our new mic, you can see that now it's muted and the mic icon on our Stream Deck is also muted. And we can go back and forth with that. So that's just a really quick way to mute and unmute your mic with the Stream Deck. Some other options we can add, if we drop down the Twitch category here, you can see that there's tons of different integrated features with Twitch. We can play an ad and select that button. And all we have to do is link our